In the journey toward personal and professional success, one of the most powerful principles you must adopt is this: make them fear losing you. This is not about arrogance or manipulation. It is about commanding respect, valuing yourself to the highest degree, and ensuring that the people around you understand the depth of your worth. Self-worth and self-respect are the bedrock upon which every successful relationship, whether personal or professional, is built. These qualities are not things that can be demanded or imposed on others. They must first be cultivated within yourself. When you know your own value and stand firm in your sense of worth, others will follow your lead and treat you with the same respect. But it all starts with you. Self-worth is the deep understanding and acknowledgement of your intrinsic value as a person. It's not about what others think of you or how much recognition you receive from the outside world. It's about recognizing that you have inherent worth, regardless of your achievements, status, or the opinions of others. Your value is not tied to the approval of those around you. It is rooted in the understanding that you, as an individual, possess unique qualities, skills, and potential that make you deserving of respect and success. Self-respect, on the other hand, is the natural consequence of recognizing your own worth. It is the active process of setting boundaries, refusing to tolerate mistreatment, and ensuring that you are treated in a way that reflects the value you place on yourself. When you have self-respect, you do not settle for relationships or circumstances that degrade you, nor do you allow others to take advantage of you. Self-respect means you treat yourself with dignity, and because you value yourself, you expect others to do the same. The people around you will mirror how you treat yourself. When you show self-respect, you subtly communicate to others that they must do the same, or face the risk of losing the privilege of being in your presence. In a world where so much emphasis is placed on external validation, on how much recognition you can gain from others, or how much success you can achieve, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of internal validation. If you rely solely on the approval of others to measure your worth, you open yourself up to manipulation, self-doubt, and the painful cycle of seeking external validation. True self-worth is not contingent on anyone's opinion, praise, or recognition. Instead, it is grounded in the belief that you are valuable simply because you exist, and you have the capacity to contribute meaningfully to the world, regardless of external recognition. When you begin to internalize your own worth, you naturally stop seeking validation from those around you. This shift in mindset leads to a quiet but powerful confidence that radiates from within. It's not the loud, boastful confidence that demands attention. Rather, it's a calm assurance that stems from knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. This kind of confidence is magnetic. People are drawn to it because it is authentic and unwavering. They can sense that you are someone who is not easily swayed by the opinions of others, and as a result, they begin to respect you more. Self-worth and self-respect also require vigilance. It's easy to slip into patterns of self-doubt, to allow negative influences from others to chip away at your sense of value. That's why it is crucial to consistently remind yourself of your worth, especially in moments when you face adversity or criticism. When challenges arise, as they inevitably do, remember that your worth is not diminished by setbacks or by the actions of others. Your value is constant, regardless of external circumstances. The ability to maintain self-worth in difficult times is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who falter. Self-worth and self-respect are reflected in the choices you make. When you know your value, you make decisions that align with your worth. You don't tolerate mediocrity in your work, relationships, or personal growth. You seek out opportunities that challenge you, uplift you, and allow you to expand. You invest in yourself because you understand that you are worth the effort, time, and energy it takes to grow into the best version of yourself. You refuse to settle for less than what you deserve, and as a result, you create a life that mirrors your sense of self-respect. Self-worth and self-respect are about taking ownership of your life and understanding that you are deserving of all the success, happiness, and fulfillment that you seek. When you cultivate these qualities within yourself, you not only enhance your own life, but also inspire others to treat you with the same regard. Creating scarcity is a powerful principle that taps into the fundamental human instinct to value what is rare and difficult to obtain. When something becomes scarce, it suddenly holds greater perceived value, and the desire to possess it intensifies. This principle doesn't just apply to material goods, but to relationships, knowledge, time, and opportunities. By creating an aura of scarcity around yourself, you make others realize that losing you, whether in a personal, professional, or social context, would be a significant loss they cannot easily replace. To create scarcity, you must first recognize your own unique qualities and understand that not everyone possesses what you offer. This doesn't mean you should become aloof or distant for the sake of manipulation, but rather that you should cultivate and highlight your unique skills, values, and strengths. When others see you as someone who is irreplaceable in their life or their business, they will begin to perceive your presence as valuable, not something that can be easily taken for granted. It's about showing that you are one of a kind, not just another person or commodity who can be replaced at will. A significant part of creating scarcity is understanding the value of your time. In a world where everyone is constantly available through emails, social media, or just being perpetually reachable, it can be easy to assume that your time is limitless. However, by respecting your time and using it wisely, you send a message that your attention and energy are not something that can be freely given. When you become more selective about how and with whom you spend your time, people will come to recognize that your time is precious, and they will start to treat it with greater respect. Scarcity also emerges when you practice the art of being present, but not constantly available. By not overextending yourself or showing up for every request or every event, you give the impression that your presence matters. If you are always available to others, they may start to take your availability for granted. But when you make yourself less accessible and only show up when you truly want to, others will begin to place higher value on your presence. The key is balance, being present when it truly counts, but also knowing when to pull back and make yourself less accessible. Another aspect of creating scarcity lies in the value of exclusivity. People tend to value things that are rare, exclusive, and difficult to access. If you have certain knowledge, skills, or qualities that are unique to you, you must highlight and protect them. Share your expertise selectively, whether it's through personal relationships or professional engagements, and make sure that others understand the value of what they are receiving. By making your offerings feel exclusive or limited, you increase their perceived worth. This principle also extends to being mindful of your relationships. If you are someone who is constantly seeking the approval of others, showing up to every gathering, or trying to please everyone, you risk diluting your own value. People may begin to feel that you are just like everyone else. However, if you develop relationships with people who truly appreciate and value what you bring to the table, you can create an environment where your presence is seen as rare and special. People will start to feel that losing you would mean losing someone truly significant to their lives. Scarcity is also linked to personal development. When you are constantly evolving, learning new things, and growing in your field or in life, you create an air of rarity around yourself. If you're always standing still and offering the same thing over and over again, you become predictable, and your presence becomes less valuable. But if you are constantly improving and showing new facets of yourself, whether it's through new knowledge, experiences, or skills, you remain an interesting and rare figure. And people will begin to realize that your growth is something they cannot afford to lose. Creating scarcity doesn't mean isolating yourself or making yourself so distant that people lose interest. It's about being intentional with your time, your energy, and the value you offer. When people understand that losing you would mean losing something rare, unique, and irreplaceable, they will naturally fear the loss and seek to hold on to what they have with you. The key is not to make yourself scarce out of manipulation, but out of self-respect and an understanding of the worth you bring to the world. When you operate from a place of genuine value, scarcity becomes a natural result, and others will begin to recognize your true worth. Building irreplaceability is a strategic and intentional process that involves developing a unique value that cannot be easily replicated. It's about creating a presence in both your personal and professional life that makes others recognize the profound impact of your contributions. When you achieve irreplaceability, others begin to understand that losing you would not just be a setback, but a loss of something essential. Becoming irreplaceable isn't about striving for perfection, but rather about constantly refining your strengths, offering unique insights, and cultivating a mindset that ensures you remain indispensable to those who value your presence. The first step to building irreplaceability is identifying and nurturing your unique qualities. Each person has a specific combination of talents, perspectives, and characteristics that distinguish them from everyone else. This uniqueness is what sets you apart and creates your irreplaceable value. To tap into this, it's crucial to look inward and assess your strengths. What do you do better than others? What skills or knowledge do you possess that are difficult for others to replicate? Once you identify these qualities, it becomes easier to highlight and develop them further. Irreplaceability stems from these unique attributes, and when you make them a central part of what you offer, you begin to create a role for yourself that others cannot easily fill. Another key aspect of building irreplaceability is continuous self-improvement. The world is constantly evolving, and the best way to remain relevant and valuable is through ongoing growth. Those who stop learning or developing their skills become stagnant and easy to replace. But when you actively pursue new knowledge, refine your abilities, and expand your expertise, you ensure that you continue to offer something fresh and indispensable. This commitment to growth makes you more versatile, adaptable, and capable of navigating various challenges that others may not be prepared for. It is achieved not by staying where you are, but by always moving forward, honing your craft, and seeking new opportunities for development. Being irreplaceable also requires cultivating a mindset of excellence in everything you do. This means not settling for mediocrity, but constantly striving to deliver your best work. Whether you're performing a task at your job, engaging in a personal relationship, or pursuing a passion, it's crucial to give your full attention and effort. When others see that you consistently go above and beyond, they begin to recognize the immense value you bring to the table. Excellence is often what makes someone stand out. And when you make it a habit to produce work or provide contributions that exceed expectations, you gradually become someone who is viewed as irreplaceable. Building irreplaceability involves developing strong, trusting relationships. While skills and knowledge are undeniably important, people are also drawn to those who are dependable, supportive, and emotionally intelligent. Being the kind of person who others can rely on in times of need, someone who brings stability and support, is a key component of being irreplaceable. In personal relationships, this may mean being the one who always listens, provides thoughtful advice, or offers help without expecting anything in return. In the professional realm, it might involve being the go-to person who always delivers results, maintains integrity, and fosters a positive environment. When people know they can count on you consistently, they begin to see you as someone they cannot afford to lose. Irreplaceability also comes from offering a unique perspective. People often value individuals who bring new ideas, challenge the status quo, and offer creative solutions to problems. When you are able to approach challenges with fresh eyes and think outside the box, you become indispensable. Being known for your innovative thinking, your ability to solve complex problems, and your willingness to take risks makes you someone others cannot easily replace. It's not about simply following the crowd or doing things the way they've always been done. It's about offering a unique lens through which to view the world and tackle challenges. True irreplaceability is a result of emotional resilience and consistency. Life is unpredictable, and being able to weather adversity without losing your composure is an invaluable trait. People admire those who remain steady and reliable, even in difficult times. When you consistently show up, deliver on your promises, and maintain your integrity in the face of challenges, you cement your place as someone indispensable. Irreplaceability is not built on perfection, but on the ability to stand strong when others falter. Building irreplaceability is about combining uniqueness, growth, excellence, relationship building, creativity, and emotional strength. When you approach life with a commitment to these principles, you naturally develop into someone whose absence would be keenly felt. It's not about seeking attention or recognition. It's about creating a lasting impact through the value you consistently bring to the lives of others. When you embody these qualities, you position yourself as someone who is truly irreplaceable, and the fear of losing you becomes a very real consideration for those who value your presence. Confidence in your decision-making is a cornerstone of personal and professional success. It's the ability to trust your judgment, stand by your choices, and move forward without second-guessing yourself. When you are confident in the decisions you make, you exude a quiet but powerful strength that others respect. Confidence in decision-making is not about making the right decision every time, but about being comfortable with the decisions you make and owning the consequences, whether they are favorable or not. One of the fundamental aspects of confident decision-making is the understanding that uncertainty is a natural part of the process. No decision comes with a guarantee of success, and this is where many people falter. They become paralyzed by fear of making the wrong choice. But those who possess confidence in their decision-making are not deterred by this fear. They recognize that no one has all the answers and that risks are an inevitable part of growth. Confidence comes from being able to make decisions with the understanding that mistakes are not failures, but opportunities for learning. Each choice, whether it leads to success or failure, is a step forward in building the wisdom and experience needed to make even better decisions in the future. A key part of building confidence in your decision-making is self-trust. Trusting yourself means recognizing your ability to weigh options, assess potential risks, and evaluate possible outcomes. It means understanding that you have the resources, skills, and knowledge to make informed decisions. And if you don't know something, you're willing to seek out the information or advice you need. Self-trust comes from experience. It comes from reflecting on past decisions and seeing how they've shaped your growth, both personally and professionally. It also stems from a commitment to self-awareness, knowing your strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals. When you have a deep understanding of yourself and your capabilities, it becomes easier to make decisions that align your personal mission and vision. Confidence in decision-making also involves accepting responsibility for the choices you make. When you make a decision, whether it works out or not, it is important to take ownership of it. This ownership is empowering because it means that you are not relying on external factors or other people to validate your decisions. It also builds resilience. If a decision leads to unexpected outcomes or challenges, confident decision makers do not shy away from facing those challenges head-on. Instead, they view these situations as opportunities to learn and grow. They own their decisions because they recognize that they have the ability to adjust, pivot, and adapt as needed. To make confident decisions, it is also crucial to develop a clear sense of purpose and values. When you know what matters most to you, your choices become more aligned with your deeper goals and beliefs. This clarity reduces doubt because you can more easily assess whether a decision fits with your personal or professional objectives. If you make decisions based on your values, you don't waste time second-guessing yourself. You know that whatever the outcome, you've made the choice that aligns with who you are and what you stand for. This alignment creates a strong foundation of confidence because it ensures that your decisions are consistent with your long-term vision. Another important factor in confident decision-making is the ability to evaluate risks and rewards effectively. Every decision involves weighing the potential benefits against the possible risks. But confident decision-makers do this without being overwhelmed by fear or hesitation. They know that risk is a part of any worthwhile endeavor, and they embrace it with calculated caution. Instead of fearing the unknown, they take the time to gather information, analyze the situation, and make the best choice they can with the information available. By focusing on the potential for growth and the opportunities a decision might present, they are able to act with confidence even when the outcome is uncertain. Confidence also comes from being decisive. Indecision breeds doubt, and when you hesitate or procrastinate in making decisions, it can create a sense of weakness that others can sense. Confidence in decision-making is built on the ability to act quickly and decisively, knowing that while mistakes may happen, the important thing is to keep moving forward. Being decisive shows others that you trust your instincts, that you're willing to take action, and that you're capable of making choices that lead to progress. It demonstrates leadership, and people naturally gravitate toward those who can lead with certainty, especially in challenging or uncertain times. Confidence in decision-making is about trusting the process and believing in your ability to navigate life's complexities. It's about recognizing that no decision is made in a vacuum, and that every choice brings you closer to your goals. It requires the courage to take risks, the wisdom to learn from your mistakes, and the resilience to keep moving forward. When you cultivate this confidence, you become someone others look to for guidance, someone whose decisions inspire trust and respect. You show that you can handle life's challenges with poise, clarity, and conviction. And this unwavering confidence becomes a powerful tool in achieving success. Emotional control and strength are essential qualities that enable individuals to navigate life's challenges with resilience and composure. The ability to regulate emotions rather than letting them dictate actions is a hallmark of emotional maturity and self-mastery. Emotional control does not mean suppressing or denying feelings, but rather managing them in a way that allows for clear thinking, thoughtful responses, and constructive outcome. Emotional strength, on the other hand, refers to the ability to endure adversity without losing one's sense of self or direction. Together, emotional control and strength help individuals stay grounded, make rational decisions, and maintain their inner peace, even in turbulent circumstances. The foundation of emotional control begins with self-awareness. To effectively manage emotions, you first need to be aware of what you're feeling and why. This awareness allows you to identify the triggers that provoke certain emotional responses. Whether it's stress, anger, frustration, or sadness, understanding the root cause of your emotions enables you to address them more effectively. Once you become attuned to your emotional patterns, you can begin to develop strategies for managing them, such as pausing before reacting, taking deep breaths, or stepping away from a situation to regain clarity. Emotional control is not about ignoring or suppressing feelings. It's about recognizing them and choosing the most appropriate response. Self-regulation is the next crucial component of emotional control. This is the ability to take the emotional energy you feel and channel it in a productive way. It involves resisting the urge to react impulsively or emotionally, and instead taking deliberate actions that align with your long-term goals. When you encounter difficult situations, it's easy to let your emotions take over, but those who have mastered emotional control are able to pause, reflect, and respond in ways that reflect their values and objectives. Self-regulation allows you to remain calm under pressure, stay focused on the task at hand, and prevent emotions from clouding your judgment or derailing your progress. In addition to self-awareness and self-regulation, emotional control requires developing a strong sense of emotional resilience. Oh! Life is filled with setbacks, disappointments, and unexpected challenges, and emotional strength is what enables you to bounce back from adversity. People with emotional resilience don't let difficult situations define them. Instead, they view challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. Emotional strength is the ability to face hardship without becoming bitter, angry, or defeated. It's about having the mental fortitude to keep moving forward, even when circumstances are tough. Those with emotional resilience know that failure is a part of success, and that setbacks are simply temporary roadblocks on the path to achieving their goals. Emotional strength also involves maintaining perspective in difficult situations. It's easy to become overwhelmed or discouraged when things aren't going according to plan, but those with emotional strength are able to step back and look at the bigger picture. They understand that hardships are often short-term and that with time, things will improve. This perspective allows them to maintain their composure and continue working toward their goals, no matter how challenging the moments may seem. By staying focused on the long-term vision and refusing to get bogged down by temporary setbacks, emotionally strong individuals are able to preserve their sense of purpose and drive. A significant aspect of emotional control is empathy, the ability to understand and relate to the emotions of others. Emotional control isn't just about managing your own emotions. It also involves responding appropriately to the emotions of those around you. When you have empathy, you are able to navigate difficult interpersonal situations with sensitivity and understanding. This not only helps you maintain harmonious relationships, but also enables you to address conflicts in a constructive manner. By understanding the feelings of others and managing your own emotions in response, you can avoid unnecessary escalation and maintain a calm, measured approach. Another essential element of emotional strength is self-compassion. In moments of failure or difficulty, emotionally strong individuals are kind to themselves. They don't engage in self-criticism or negative self-talk, but instead practice patience and understanding. They recognize that everyone faces challenges and that mistakes are part of the human experience. Self-compassion allows them to acknowledge their emotions without judgment, and it provides the mental space needed to heal, learn, and grow. By treating themselves with kindness and respect, they maintain their emotional equilibrium and avoid being overwhelmed by negative emotions. Emotional control and strength allow individuals to move through life with a sense of calm, clarity, and purpose. They are able to face life's uncertainties with resilience, make decisions that reflect their values, and interact with others in a way that fosters understanding and cooperation. In a world that is often unpredictable and stressful, the ability to maintain emotional control and strength is a key differentiator for those who achieve lasting success and inner peace. It is through emotional mastery that individuals are able to transform adversity into opportunity and emerge stronger and more capable, no matter what life throws their way. Leverage the power of boundaries, and you create a solid framework for self-respect, personal growth, and healthier relationships. Boundaries are the invisible lines we set in our lives to protect our time, energy, and emotional well-being. They define what is acceptable and unacceptable in the way others treat us and how we treat ourselves. By understanding and maintaining these boundaries, we ensure that we don't overextend ourselves, that we don't compromise our values, and that we safeguard our mental and emotional health. More importantly, setting boundaries is not just about saying a no to others. It's about saying yes to your own needs and ensuring that you're living in alignment with your own truth. The first step in leveraging the power of boundaries is self-awareness. Without understanding what you need, it's impossible to set meaningful boundaries. Self-awareness involves reflecting on your values, priorities, and limits. It requires recognizing your emotional, mental, and physical limits so that you can identify when something or someone is demanding more than you're willing or able to give. When you know your own needs and desires, you can set boundaries that reflect your personal values rather than simply reacting to external pressures or expectations. Self-awareness allows you to be in tune with yourself, and this understanding makes it easier to communicate your boundaries to others. Once you're clear about your own limits, the next step is assertive communication. This involves clearly and respectfully expressing your boundaries to others without fear or guilt. Setting boundaries isn't about being confrontational or aggressive. It's about being firm and direct in a way that respects both your needs and the needs of others. This might mean telling someone that you can't take on an additional responsibility at work because you're already overloaded. Or it could be letting a friend know that you need some quiet time to recharge. The key to effective boundary setting is to be clear, concise, and calm. You don't need to justify or explain your boundaries excessively. Simply stating them in a straightforward manner is enough. When you do this consistently, people will begin to respect your limits because they understand where you stand. Setting boundaries also involves the willingness to say no. One of the greatest challenges many face when it comes to boundaries is the fear of disappointing or upsetting others. However, saying no is an essential part of maintaining healthy boundaries. If you say yes to everything, you risk overcommitting yourself, draining your energy, and neglecting your own well-being. It's important to understand that saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It's an act of self-care and self-respect. Saying no allows you to prioritize your time and energy, ensuring that you can focus on the things that truly matter to you. Over time, saying no becomes easier, and it fosters a greater sense of confidence and control over your own life. Boundaries help you manage your emotional energy. By setting clear emotional boundaries, you can prevent yourself from being overly affected by other people's moods, reactions, or drama. Emotional boundaries protect you from absorbing negativity or stress from others, allowing you to remain centered and focused on your own well-being. When you allow others to drain your emotional energy, it can lead to burnout and resentment. However, when you protect your emotional space, you preserve your energy for what truly matters, your own goals, health, and happiness. Another powerful aspect of boundaries is that they allow you to build healthier relationships. Contrary to the misconception that boundaries create distance, healthy boundaries actually promote closeness and respect in relationships. When you communicate your needs clearly and respectfully, you allow others to understand how to support you, which leads to stronger, more meaningful connections. People who respect your boundaries are more likely to value and appreciate you for who you are, rather than trying to manipulate or take advantage of your time and energy. In relationships, whether personal or professional, setting boundaries ensures that both parties can engage with each other in a way that is mutually supportive and respectful. Boundaries give you the freedom to focus on your goals and aspirations. When you've established clear boundaries, you can direct your energy toward what truly matters, your personal growth, career, and passions. Boundaries allow you to focus without constant distractions from others' demands or expectations. They create space for you to pursue your dreams and goals without guilt or self-doubt. By protecting your time and energy, boundaries give you the freedom to engage fully in the activities that align with your values and aspirations, leading to greater fulfillment and success in your life. Leveraging the power of boundaries is about taking control of your own life. It's about being intentional in the way you allocate your time, energy, and emotional resources. By setting and maintaining strong boundaries, you create a life that is true to yourself, one where you can thrive, grow, and maintain healthy, supportive relationships. Boundaries are not a barrier to success or happiness. They are the foundation upon which you can build a life that reflects your true self, your values, and your aspirations. By embracing the power of boundaries, you empower yourself to live authentically and to protect your peace in an often chaotic world. Mutual respect is the cornerstone of any healthy, successful relationship, whether personal, professional, or social. It forms the basis of trust, understanding, and cooperation between individuals, fostering an environment where all parties feel valued, heard, and appreciated. When mutual respect is present, people are more likely to communicate openly, collaborate effectively, and support each other in their individual pursuits. It is a dynamic, reciprocal quality that must be cultivated and maintained through consistent actions, attitudes, and behaviors. Mutual respect begins with valuing others for who they are as individuals, regardless of their background, status, or beliefs. This involves accepting and appreciating people's differences rather than seeking to change or judge them. Whether it's respecting cultural diversity, personal opinions, or lifestyle choices, mutual respect acknowledges that every person brings something unique to the table. It's about recognizing that every individual has inherent worth and treating them accordingly. When people feel respected, they are more likely to reciprocate that respect, which strengthens the bond between them and creates a foundation for deeper connection. Another vital element of mutual respect is active listening. To truly respect someone, you must be willing to listen to what they have to say without interrupting, judging, or dismissing their thoughts and feelings. Active listening means giving someone your full attention and responding thoughtfully, reflecting a genuine interest in their perspective. This type of listening fosters understanding and demonstrates that you value the other person's viewpoint. It helps build empathy, which deepens the connection and enhances the quality of the relationship. When both parties engage in active listening, communication becomes more meaningful and productive, preventing misunderstandings and fostering a collaborative environment. Respect is also reflected in how our boundaries are honored. Every individual has different boundaries: emotional, physical, mental, and personal. Mutual respect involves recognizing and honoring these boundaries without pushing them or violating. When someone sets a boundary, whether it's asking for personal space, time to themselves, or a specific request in a professional setting, respecting that boundary shows that you recognize their autonomy and needs. Disregarding someone's boundaries can quickly erode trust and mutual respect, as it signals a lack of consideration for the other person's well-being. Conversely, when boundaries are respected, both parties feel valued and safe in the relationship, which encourages open and honest communication. Another crucial aspect of mutual respect is acknowledging each other's efforts and contributions. Whether in the workplace or in personal relationships, recognizing the hard work, talents, and achievements of others is a powerful way to foster respect. When people feel that their contributions are noticed and appreciated, they are more likely to continue giving their best and investing in the relationship. This appreciation can take many forms, from verbal affirmations to tangible rewards. And it reinforces the idea that each person's input matters. Mutual respect thrives in an environment where both individuals acknowledge and celebrate each other's strengths and successes. Empathy plays a significant role in nurturing mutual respect. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their feelings, perspectives, and experiences. When you practice empathy, you're better able to respond in ways that show understanding and compassion, especially when the other person is going through difficult or emotional times. It's about being sensitive to their needs and emotions and responding in a way that acknowledges their feelings. Empathy helps build a bridge between individuals, creating a sense of connection that goes beyond words and actions. It fosters an environment of support and kindness, which deepens mutual respect. Mutual respect also requires honesty and integrity. Being truthful with others and following through on commitments demonstrates that you value the relationship enough to be honest and dependable. And dependable. When you're open and transparent in your communication, it builds trust, which is essential for respect to flourish. Dishonesty or breaking promises undermines respect and can damage relationships beyond repair. On the other hand, when both parties consistently act with integrity, they create a foundation of trust and reliability, making it easier to navigate conflicts or challenges in the relationship. Patience and understanding are vital to maintaining mutual respect, especially in challenging situations. In opinion, misunderstandings and conflicts are inevitable in any relationship, but how you handle these situations can either strengthen or weaken the bond of respect. Approaching disagreements with patience, avoiding harsh judgments, and seeking to understand the other person's point of view helps to maintain a respectful dialogue. Rather than resorting to anger, blame, or hostility, individuals who respect each other work through challenges in a calm, thoughtful manner, ensuring that the relationship remains strong, even in the face of adversity. Mutual respect is an ongoing practice that requires effort and commitment from both parties. It's a continuous process of valuing one another, listening actively, honoring boundaries, acknowledging efforts, practicing empathy, and maintaining honesty. When mutual respect is present, relationships flourish, trust deepens, and individuals are empowered to grow both personally and together. By cultivating respect in all areas of life, you create an environment where people can thrive, collaborate, and support one another in ways that lead to greater fulfillment, understanding, and success.